Washing this part of your Toyota Tacoma could cause a fire. Never do this. Well, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to RobMotive. We're going to get to this in just a minute, but washing this part of your Toyota Tacoma could actually cause a fire. Don't ever do this. But before we get into what that is, and you're going to want to stay tuned because there's a lot of controversy about this, and it's pretty important, we're going to talk about automatic car washes too, because those can be very destructive to your Toyota Tacoma as well. And quite frankly, I never go through automated car washes for many of the reasons that Toyota themselves list. So let's get into that first, and then we'll get to the horrible thing that could happen if you wash this part of your Toyota Tacoma. They have a whole section right here that is about automatic car washes. So it's titled Automatic Car Washes. It's on page 396 of the Tacoma Bible if you want to check it out. But they give you some tips, first of all. They tell you to fold the mirrors in, you know, those things right there, before washing the vehicle. Well, it makes sense. And if you don't do that, you'll probably find out that at least one, probably the passenger side mirror, because that, back when I used to go through car washes, is always the one that would be pushed in. You can't reach it from the driver's seat, so you got to pull off somewhere, jump out, run around the truck, and unfold that mirror so that you can see behind you. You know, a pretty important thing. So you should fold them in to begin with so that those little side brushes that spin like crazy don't hit them. It says here to start washing from the front of the vehicle. Well, since we're talking about automatic car washes, I don't know how else you would do it. I've never seen anybody drive through backwards. Matter of fact, I don't think they would let you drive through backwards, but maybe there's some automated car washes where maybe somebody has thought that their tailgate would get cleaner if they went in backwards so that it got hit more. I don't know, but never do that. It does say to make sure you extend the mirrors before driving, so that should be common sense, I would think. It goes on to say, brushes used in automatic car washes may scratch the vehicle's surface parts, wheels, etc., and harm your vehicle's paint. Well, that's obvious. I mean, how many cars go through a car wash with those brushes, those long spaghetti-like things, beating on your paint? And you know they get impregnated with dirt, right? Little gritty granules of dirt that acts like sandpaper. And the first time you take your brand new Toyota Tacoma through that automated car wash, you're going to create all kinds of little micro scratches. Is it really worth it to have a clean for a day or two Toyota Tacoma? Not for me. Next up, in certain automatic car washes, the roof antenna may interfere with machine operation. Boy, this is true. I'll tell you what happened to me in just a second. It says this may prevent the vehicle from being cleaned properly. I guess those little spaghetti strings that are going to wrap around it as it's spinning at 90 miles an hour aren't going to hit the area right behind the antenna. It says, or result in damage to the antenna. Well, this is where it comes into play for me. You see, years ago, and it was actually a car, it wasn't a truck or a Tacoma, but I took one through an automated car wash, and one of those spaghetti brushes grabbed my antenna, tipped it over, and just snapped it off. And by the way, if you ever pay attention when you're going through one of those automatic car washes, assuming you still do, look around at the inside, around the floor area up against the wall. I'll bet you see some car antennas piled up somewhere. It's because it's a common thing. Those brushes are so forceful, and all you have is that whip antenna. It's a perfect thing for those little spaghetti things to catch. You'll see them laying all over the place because it happens. I know, it happened to me. Now, there's one other note here. It says, it's about high pressure car washes. It says, as water may enter the cabin, do not bring the nozzle tip near the gaps around the doors or perimeter of the windows or spray these areas continuously. Now, that's really more in line or towards using the high pressure nozzles at home, I think. You know, one of the latest crazes is to go out and buy one of those cannon things and then use a high pressure brush, usually they're one and the same, and spray off everything. And you know, when you're putting all that soap all over the place, if you ever seen anybody use one, or maybe you use them yourself, they get a lot of soap suds everywhere. And of course they get inside the seams right here of the doors. And if you're like me, when you're trying to clean it off, get the soap off, you're gonna blast that area with one of those high pressure nozzles. Then you're gonna open your door and you're gonna find you have a wet seat. Maybe you even have some water pooled on the floor mats inside. That's why they're not designed to have water shooting at them at 3,000 PSI. It's gonna happen. A couple other things I just wanted to mention real quick before we get to the fire part of this video. It says here, wheels and ornaments if equipped. Well, I think every Toyota Tacoma has wheels, I think. Remove all dirt immediately by using a natural detergent or a neutral detergent. Wash detergent off with water immediately after use. To protect the paint from damage, make sure to observe the following precautions. This is if you have painted wheels. Do not use acidic, alkaline, or abrasive detergent. Makes sense. I would also not use a detergent that has ammonia in it. Do not use hard brushes. Obviously, they'll scratch as well. Do not use detergent on the wheels when they are hot, such as after driving or parking in hot weather. Let's see, bumpers and side moldings. Do not scrub with abrasive cleaners. They probably put that in because those are the areas that are gonna grab more dirt and stuff. They're lower to the ground, they're gonna be more dirty. Plated portions. If dirt can be removed, clean the parts as follows. Well, I hope the dirt can be removed. Use a soft cloth dampened with an approximately 5% solution of neutral detergent and water to clean the dirt off. Good advice. Wipe the surface with a dry, soft cloth to remove any remaining moisture. And lastly, to remove oily deposits. This could be tar, this could be oil from the oil change place, who knows. Use alcohol, wet wipes, or a similar product, because that's gonna eat right through the oil. Now, let's talk about the fire. And you know, this is a big point of contention. I've talked about this on the channel before, and it never fails. I get a handful of people that always tell me, oh, I've done this and I've never had any problems yet. What I'm talking about is washing the inside of the engine compartment. It says here, and this is straight from Toyota, it's page 397, you can check it out yourself. Do not apply water to the inside of the engine compartment. Doing so may cause the electrical components, etc., to catch fire. That's because you're going to short them out, right? You don't want water in any of those little connections. If you look around in your engine bay, there's a lot of connectors and things in there. They are not watertight. So I don't care how many times you've done it, whether you swear by it or not, it only takes once. And these are the issues that you hear some people complaining about. You know, my truck's having problems. I'm having electrical problems. Well, did you spray down the engine bay? Is it any wonder? Of course it's having electrical problems. Don't do it. Never spray out your engine compartment. If you must clean it, just use a damp rag and hand wipe things off. That'll work just as well, but it's gonna take you a heck of a lot longer, obviously. So anyway, that was the part, the engine compartment, that washing that can cause a fire. Never do it. Leave a comment, let me know. Do you agree? Not just with me, but with Toyota too. I'd be curious to know. Also, real quick, I do have 2 additional channels. RobMotive JT, all about Jeep Gladiators, and RobMotive MT, all about mini trucks. Currently, the 2022 Hyundai Santa Cruz. Check them out, and if you're interested, please consider subscribing. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. Bye.